Thank you very much for listening to me witter on for 5 minutes. I'm coming at you from a perspective of some 30 odd years in the media business as a funder or a broadcaster or a regulator, so I'm going to go quite high level. And I'm going to take an all media approach, because I don't think this is just the responsibility for public media or some kind of media or anything like that. I think this is all media responsibility, this kind of thinking, as part of its role as fourth estate. So I've got 3 quite modest proposals based around C words, and it's not the usual C word for journalists, which is cynicism, it's other ones. I've got 1 each for media businesses, for a media representative body, and for individual journalists. So the first one based around collaboration. This is for journalism-based media businesses. I reckon one of the more interesting and practical ways to address some of these problems is for a combined business approach to back a hub for an important specialist news audience. Now, this could be investigative, it could be a number of other areas, but I'll concentrate for the moment on another idea today, particularly informed by the John Campbell session in the earlier workshops, thinking about, say, a curated weekly news portal for secondary school students. And this would have to be a competition-free zone. This is the win-win bit for pan media businesses, because it doesn't have to kill the bottom lines. When you're thinking about children and young people, it's growing a news appetite for a new audience, and we need to stop scaring them, as those kids said. So a children-focused news service is a very different thing from what you currently see online or in the papers or on the telly or on the radio. And the right structure, if this is indeed pan sector, does attract diverse funding, media resources themselves, government, sponsors, pond. If you have a multiple funding pool, that leads to the most important thing around the space, which is editorial freedom. Obviously, it can cause some potential extra stories for each business outlet, and it's good for brand. It's a pro bono. It's a pro bono with a twist idea. So I'm looking at people like Television New Zealand, at MediaWorks, at NZME, at Fairfax, at Radio New Zealand, and asking why they can't do this. It's not that hard, it's not that expensive, and from a business perspective, I think this is becoming increasingly understood. But the enemy is not themselves. They've been fighting in the same sandpit, fighting for their audiences for such a long time, and the business enemy now is not each other, it's the globals. It's the Apples, it's the Googles, it's the Amazons. NZ Inc. needs to find a better approach in this space. My second idea is around coordination, and this is a challenge to the media bodies, the media personnel themselves, particularly journalists. It's for what I was trying to say is the representative body of the profession, but there bloody well isn't one. You've got your Media Freedom Committee, you've got your Press Council, you've got broadcast regulators over here. It's all silly. And if the media themselves can't organise themselves into a body that talks on their behalf at a higher level, then none of this stuff can be actioned. So if there is a proper media organisations representative body with members, let's call it a combined media council for a moment, then ideas like this next initiative become really sensible, because each member organisation of the Media Industry Council could commit to a creative online series to stimulate their own target audience to vote. So that could be features, it could be blogs, it could be infographics, it could be photo essays on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat campaigns, whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's multimedia, it's minimal effort, and it's got a likely big reach. And all members of this council, the council would organise this, would have to do is commit just 1 month every 3 years for each general election. A Media Inc. approach with a common hashtag for everything, hashtag votes count, doesn't matter. The collective impact of this will then reach right across the people of New Zealand and the young people of New Zealand. And the best campaign or series around this space would get a special prize at the Canon Media Awards. Let's give it some credibility. And my last one is around culture, and this is for individual journalists themselves. Again, a matter of encouragement and stimulating and organising something. individual journalists could be challenged to create just one research-driven blog or vlog or article each year on how a major world political event impacts on New Zealand society. The thing that New Zealand journalists bring to this whole world state is the New Zealand lens, the New Zealand point of view. This is the cultural bit. Journos, of course, are the best researchers and digesters and presenters of complex ideas in plain English. Sorry about the academics in the room, but the journos beat your hands down normally. It could be treated as individual professional development and a chance to promote expertise. And you could actually back each other's efforts as well. That would be novel, wouldn't it? Now, each one of these items would also have a common hashtag. It could be hashtag Impact New Zealand. It doesn't matter, but it's a way to collect ideas. And it could be a town gown initiative. It could be that a journalism school offers to collate and promote this idea, maybe offering their students as researchers and giving credit for the work. You'd social media it to death and you'd wheedle a major platform to back it. You'd look for a benefactor, a Stephen Tyndall, a Gareth Morgan, a Pledge Me, I don't care. But if somebody would easily sponsor, I think, a decent cash prize for the best individual effort. And the audience, the benefit overall, the audience has a trusted and thoughtful piece of local content, a great thing in the soup of global. So there you are, 3 ideas, one each for business, for collective industry and for journos. Collaboration, coordination and culture, the 3 Cs. Thank you.